Hello, PFL Nation. We got Friday night lights tonight. We got an absolute rocker of a game for y'all. We got number 2 Miami versus number 3 Georgia. Miami coming off that absolute slaughter of a victory, 31-3 versus Michigan, while Georgia coming off of a hold-on victory against Ole Miss, 19-16. This is the game of the week for your boy. This is absolutely going to be massive. And guess what? We have a very special guest tonight in the booth. It's Mr. Carlos Thompson. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, John. How you feeling, man?
Oh man, I'm so excited for this one. I can't wait to see these matchups. It's really going to be all about that Miami offense against this Georgia defense. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. That's when I feel like we're going to see the biggest impact, is just seeing whether or not that offense can come out, put points on the board quick, and then try to hold on to those leads. What do you think we're going to see tonight? Who you got winning this one?
This is going to be a tough battle, but I think this battle is going to be battle of the running backs because we now have Deshaun Knight coming off a great game, and then we have Ryan Brooks, former Heisman winner, trying to get it right back again. I think it's going to be a back and forth battle between these running backs.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, man. I think it will be a battle of the running backs, and I feel like whoever can come out and set the tone first is going to come out to make a big splash in this game, and we see Miami getting that chance as they went ahead, and we'll start with the ball. We see PS3 coming out, going to try to lead this offense to a touchdown on his first drive, and after what we saw by Miami last week against Michigan, I expect to see this offense come out to a really hot start. We see PS3 line up under center. This is looking like a run formation to me to start this drive. Yes, sir. There's the quick handoff. And nowhere really to go, man. He got a few yards, which is going to be fine. Get him into his groove, but not a lot of space to run. Do you think Georgia's going to be tighten up those run lanes throughout this game?
And they'll just have to tighten up these run lanes. They can do it with that D line they have, and they're going to really staple that defense together. If they can do that, I think that's how they're going to win this game.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. As we see just a little bit led too far on that pass there, setting up the 3rd and 7. PS3 getting this ball in the shotgun. Let's see if they can go ahead and get this conversion so they don't get a quick 3 and out. Goes for the quick route, has his man, but gets absolutely clocked by Ricks and is not able to hold on to the ball. And this is not what you want if you're Miami, man. That quick 3 and out is going to be absolutely brutal. Are you surprised by the way this first drive went?
Very surprised. Try to hit Amari Tanaka right there, but just broken up. Great job by the defense right there to start the 3 and out and give Georgia the ball to start this first quarter.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're Georgia, you couldn't ask for a better result out of your defense. As we see Miami forced to punt, and we're going to get our first look at this Georgia offense after a pretty decent return, getting the ball up to the 35. You know, I called their game last week, and we saw it was close, and then all of a sudden KJ turned it on in that fourth quarter to lead Georgia on that massive drive. And I think we're going to see more out of him tonight because, like you said, it's going to be battle of the running backs. And so, you know, when you see that type of battle, you know the running backs are going back and forth. It's going to be guys like KJ that need to make the difference when he is forced to pass the ball. As we see that really quick route, really easy gain of 13 yards. That's exactly what Georgia's going to be looking for as Kyson goes ahead and makes that grab. He had a huge game for them last week, made what I felt like was the catch of the season. And I expect to see a lot of these fast routes out of Georgia early on. What are you thinking?
And I think that's what they're going to try to do. If you pick your poison against Ryan Brooks, who hits it off here and gets the first down, you got to stop one or the other. If you try to stop the run, they're going to just pass it all over you. And if you try to stop that pass, guess who's back there in that backfield? You got Ryan Brooks back there. So I think that's a great job to start this offense right here, making another first down.
Bro, you are exactly right. In my head, that's what Georgia's going to be doing all night, using the pass to set up the run, using the run to set up the pass. You know, you talk about the Heisman winner in Ryan Brooks, but they have an elite receiving core as well with Chris Elko, Wimbo Bands out there helping move the ball through the air. As we see Ryan not really going anywhere on that run. That's some great defensive stop out of Miami. But this Miami defense, you know, Carlos, talk to me, man. I know this Miami defense is elite. Who are some players you're going to be watching for tonight?
Right here, you got to watch that middle linebacker, Eric Lyle. That man is a beast. Had a monster game and pretty much having a monster season right now. And you just gotta watch out for that man, because that man is a dog right there for Miami. And he's just a staple of that defense. Wherever you find him, he's gonna be right with them.
Absolutely, man. He swarms to that ball so fast, and Miami's really going to need that. We keep talking about the Georgia weapons. We're going to need that Miami defense to step up. As we see the free play does get the offsides calls. Going to go ahead and break for the run anyway. Absolute monster gains. They're going to be denying that penalty. As KJ said, listen, you're going to give me that much space. I'm going to turn into Lamar Smith out here as he goes ahead and absolutely hauls.
And that's a pick your poison again right there. You don't forget, KJ Smith can run that ball. If you let him go, oh, that's just gonna be a long night for you on defense.
Absolutely. And just like you said, it really is a pick your poison offense because they have to, you know, cover these receiving weapons, and that's going to give KJ plenty of room to run as we see him lay that out to Elko, who had an absolutely crazy game a couple weeks ago, but was a little bit more quiet against Ole Miss, so I expect to see him more involved tonight. We see the handoff to Ryan Brooks trying to fight for the first, but absolutely stuffed by a sea of orange. They did not let him get across that line, and this third down stop is going to be absolutely crucial here.
And this is really what you need right here. And they're going to go with the read option right outside. Bounces off a tackle. It gets it to the 10. And here comes Georgia knocking on the door.
Yes, sir.
Knocking on the
Huge
door.
stiff arm out of KJ. Getting them right there, knocking on the door on their first drive. This is really ideal for Georgia. You saw the defense set up that great 3-and-out. And then they are just moving the ball how they want on the offensive side. You really couldn't have asked for a better start to this game, man. This is Friday Night Lights. This is number 3 versus number 2. Get hyped in the chat if you're out here rocking with me and Carlos tonight, man. We are so excited. We can't wait to see what looks to be as Georgia hopes to get that first touchdown right here. And goes for it, and there it is. There is that first touchdown. Friday Night Lights, baby. There it is for Georgia. That is the perfect start to the drive. And my man Carlos, how are you feeling after seeing that first touchdown come on the board?
That's just a perfected drive right there. Stop them on 3-and-out on defense. Get a touchdown with A.J. Barnes, CPU receiver for Georgia. And that's the way to put up 7 right there.
Man, they could not have asked for a better start to this game, man. We got only 7 minutes left in this first already. I feel like time is flying by. And now it's going to be critical that PS3, you know, D12 and the rest of that Miami offense comes out with a big response. You know, we didn't get to see them on that drive due to the quick 3-and-out, but as we talked about, Miami's offense, just like Georgia's, is absolutely stacked. You know, between PS3, obviously, of course, Sean McKnight. And, you know, they do also have a second running back who's actually going to be moving in a different position tonight. Carlos, why don't you talk to people through what Miami's head coach let us know about in the pregame?
So I talked to Coach Anderson. He said he's going to have Draker Sutton moving into the slot and being the third down back. Now, we've seen a little bit of trouble with him catching the ball, but I don't think you'll see a problem here as they've been working on it all week long just for this moment right here. You'll probably see him in this drive incoming.
Absolutely, man, and I think that's going to be big for Miami because when they already have, you know, Jabari Brown and Amari Tanaka, having that third wide receiver as just an additional threat out there is going to be huge for them. As we see the handoff and a few gains out of McKnight here, they're going to need to do the same thing Georgia was doing, utilize that run to set up those pass plays and keep things a little bit easy for PS3. As we see back-to-back handoffs and just bouncing his way to get that. Oh, no, they didn't mark it. They marked it 3rd and inches. This is massive. Carlos, what are you thinking? You think they're just going to hand it off here and try to pound for that, basically, I'm thinking millimeters of space, or do you think they try to run something a little crazy here on 3rd and inches?
I say stick to fundamentals. Give that ball to D12 right there. He's a big running back, and he can bounce off these tackles.
I agree completely. I mean, look at where that ball is. It looks over the line. So let's see what happens here. We see the bootleg, quick dump off, perfect. That'll get them there. That's exactly what they needed. And you can tell by the way that Georgia defense was set up, they were not prepared for that rollout.
Yeah, not at all. He's going to go outside, but he's going to get stuffed at the line. Maybe even further back right there. Loss of 12.
Absolutely crushed, man. Nowhere to go. They were ready for that outside run that time. Georgia with a big defensive stop to put them second and behind the change. D12 was just waiting to get in there and stuff that running play. And Georgia's
Oh, yeah.
defense has to be hyped right now as they are having some great start to this game. And what an exciting first quarter for them.
Yes, and they're looking real good on defense right now. And I think they're going to try and get this turnover right now on this drive.
Absolutely. As we see, PS3's got a really clean pocket, able to find the gap and get a good pass off to set up third and much more manageable after that big first down stop. We see Brown with the 9-yard catch and Johnson with the tackle. Big that he was right there on that route to get that tackle so that he couldn't fight for very many more yards and get him a new set of downs. But let's see how Miami handles this 3rd and short. See PS3 take the snap. Has a man, but I don't think they're going to give forward progress. Let's see. They are not. As Georgia gets the stop, we see speed on the tackle again. He's been speeding all around the field making these tackles tonight. And now we've got ourselves a 4th and 1. You think they're going for it here, Carlos? What would you like to see?
Well, I think right now with the position of the field, I think they could go for it right now. Their offense looks good with the run game. I think you just give it to McKnight, and he'll give you the yards that you want.
Yeah, man, I'm with you. Honestly, I think this punt is way too conservative. I think you trust in D12 and your offensive line and say, just go get us a yard. But Miami going ahead and going to trust their defense and get the stop on Georgia. Now, if it's anything like that first drive, that defense is going to be in for one long night. But I hope to see some adjustments out of Miami, and I think their defense, obviously, we know they're the number 2 ranked team in the nation. This is a real team, folks. This is not a fluke. We know their defense can make some stops, but we also know that Georgia's rolling with it right now. As we see the handoff to Ryan. Nowhere to go, though. Absolutely stuffed. Just like Georgia was doing to Miami. The Miami is returning the favor, as there really was no room beyond that line for the Heisman winner.
It was just stuffed right there, and they get a pass complete. It's a great throw right there by KJ Smith. Yeah, and that's going to lead the change again. Eric Lyle on the tackle. That's probably why they didn't do good on that first drive. Just no Eric Lyle to be seen. Yep. Hopefully you see him again. It's probably going to be on the tight end a whole lot this game.
Absolutely. He's going to have to be on that tight end. He like you mentioned at the very start of the game, Lyle is an absolute beast, both at protecting that run and in coverage. And they're going to be testing him as they're going to be sending their tight end all over the field. You see the quick handoff here. Tries to break to the outside. Doesn't quite get around the last man, but does get a few yards as we see the 2nd and 7. And really, Georgia's able to open up their playbook here and kind of do whatever they want. But oh my goodness, on the corner blitz, absolutely stuffs that run. That is Duffy going in there and saying, I'm tired of this. I want to be more involved in this defense. They're going to keep handing the ball off, then I'm going to come in and make a huge tackle and set up a 3rd and much more difficult conversion here for Georgia. What a hit by Duffy, man. He was in that backfield so fast.
That was just a perfect play by Coach Dante Anderson. He said, hey, let's blitz him right now, and boom, he got there real quick. CJ Duffy making the name for himself as a top corner.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Because they were just ready for that run and setting up the passing situation. Finds his man, but can't hang on to the ball. Absolute great breakup out of Miami. It was in his hands, but just unable to secure it. And now Miami is going to let the offense get the ball back. And we see Georgia forced to punt here. That was the ideal defensive sequence. And what a way to respond after that first drive where Georgia was really able to do whatever they want. How'd you feel about what we saw out of the defense that time?
Well, that was Coach Dante. He trusted his defense. The defense provided him with their own just stifling defense. That's just what they do. And they'll just show up. If they had scored right there, they would have been in trouble to start the game early.
I agree completely. I think they really needed a stop there. You know, a lot of times you'll be watching these games and people don't think this early how important these drives are, but 14-0 is a hell of a lot of a bigger climb than 7-0. As you see, PS3 is going to take the snap here, look for his man, finds him. I have no idea how he fit that in as Brown makes that catch. What a laser, man. That looked like that could have been an interception, but man, we have a couple QBs out here in the PFL like PS3 that can fit the ball into these absolute narrow slots. What a catch. Look at that. Both their hands were right there. Brown with the absolute fantastic grab to keep this drive moving.
Jabari told me he's trying to work his way up the stats, trying to be a #1 receiver. And now great catch right there, move the chains.
Absolutely, and we see a huge response out of Bama on the run play that's going to wind down this first quarter as they get another tackle for loss. And who is it? Who else, man? It's this freaking corners out of Georgia just getting into the backfield with ease as we see, Damari Jones that time getting back there, getting a huge tackle for loss and trying to keep the momentum on Georgia's side. That's what Georgia's going to want to look for out of those guys is, listen, they're not always going to be throwing. PS3's not always going to be slaying that thing when D12's in that backfield. And both teams need their secondary to support on the run stop.
Oh, what a pick. He's going to take it
Is he gone? Is he gone?
He's gone.
Touchdown!
Tim Ricks.
Oh my goodness! Carlos, what are we seeing right now? What a pick six for Georgia, man. That is insane. Taking it back to the house, outrunning everybody. It's that man, Tim Ricks. Mosses the receiver, says get down, and takes it back to the house. And what were we just talking about when it comes to the difference between 7-0 to compared to 14-0? You think back to the game we just had where Ole Miss, KC threw that pick against Bama that turned into the pick six, and that really set the tempo for the game. I feel like that's what we're seeing right here. What do you think, man? Do you feel like I'm overthinking it, or you feel like that was a massive pick six for Georgia there?
That is a massive pick six right there. After not scoring that drive they just had, he said, fine, I'll do it myself. It takes it 53 yards to the house. And you see PS3 just try to force to Amari Tanaka 0 for 2 with him so far. As you can see, just an interception that made it crucial right there. That might have been one crucial play, crucial pass. They didn't have to force it at all.
Absolutely. I mean, he had reads. He just needed a little bit more time to think them through, and I think this is where they got to be. I think they have to get D12 more involved. You see, he's at 7 carries for only 10 yards. That is not what Miami needs if they're going to come out and make a comeback here, and they are absolutely vital that they get points on this drive. As we see a great pass, nobody within 15 yards of that man, as PS3 just gets it to him on a quick 5-yard out route. Falker rips that down out of the sky and says, I'm just going to go run for 20 yards after the catch. I really don't know why Georgia was playing so soft there as Tim Ricks made the tackle. But man, Miami had to be super happy seeing that. There was nobody around.
That big body right there, you would have thought Monte Falker was a tight end, but that is a receiver right there, a prime player. And
Absolutely.
Makes a player in there.
He was ready to go up and get that ball and says, just like you said, he's like, I'm going to get more involved. I'm going to do it myself out here. We see PS3 ripping it out to that side.
He got something right there. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Yep. We highlighted that. He's in that slot spot now. He's got the speed, so he's getting open on these routes. Obviously not a lot of yardage there, but that is definitely somebody we're going to be wanting to watch on this Miami offense as this game continues to unfold.
Makes a second down now. Hand off to McKnight. McKnight goes up the middle, gets you at least to the logo. And that's going to make a third manageable right now.
Absolutely. And he had the jump. They had the first down, but missed the hike. PS3, let's see if that costs him. It ends up not costing him as he finds the man. So many Georgia jerseys just to bring that man down. Absolutely fighting for more and more yards. The thing I will give Miami big credit for is Brown makes that catch. Want to make sure that Jabari knows I'm giving him his credit, but their players continue to fight as they get hit. You see him get smacked there and continue to fight. Look, they got 3 Georgia guys, and they got like 8 more running at him just to make sure he actually gets tackled. They are fighting for yards, this Miami offense. They know they need to score on this drive.
That's why they're the #2 team. Not a lot of teams have that fight in them. As you can see right there, Jabari Brown still trying to make a name for himself with his 3rd catch of the first half already.
Absolutely. Getting more and more involved in this absolutely elite offense. We see back-to-back handoffs. D12 just beasting over guys as he rolls his way, starting to get those average yards way higher. As you remember, he was at 7 carries for 10. Now he's at 10 for 28. Way more involved in this offense. And like we talked about, honestly, Carlos, it feels good to be right in the booth. They are using the pass to set up the run and get D12 and to find him some better lanes so that he can start to build up that confidence. This is the Miami offense we know. Honestly, this is what I was expecting to see in the first quarter.
Indeed, and if he would have broke that tackle, I think he would have been off for the races as he has time to pocket. Throws it with pressure in his face is going to be incomplete.
That was a risky throw, man. He had all kinds of guys in his face. I don't mean to cut you off, but that was crazy. I can't believe he managed to get that out of there.
It's a tight end. It's Stride. That's a tight end, right? Number 22.
Yeah, I think so.
That's a weird number, vibes. Hey, we like it though. We like it in the PFL.
It's different, man. But yeah, he's as we see the 3rd and 10 now, Miami really needs a conversion here. They'd really rather not settle for 3 because it'll still be a 2-possession game. Let's see what they cock up here. On the long 3rd down, goes to the outside, has some space, fighting again, and look who it is. That is Sutton, baby. Sliding into that slot, fighting for that 1st down. And see, that's the running back effect, though, Carlos. You know it. You're a running back. I'm a running back. We know we love to fight for those yards. And he said, give me that ball, and I'll make it happen. This is why Miami put him into that slot, because he can do things like that and keep drives alive.
As you see, Kyrie Sims pretty much doubled his size, and he said, yeah, you're not stopping me like that. I don't care about your size. And he's going to get sacked. Oh, what a sack. That's a clutch sack by Chase Moore. 5th sack of the year.
Chase is an absolute monster, man. It didn't even look like he had a right tackle covering him, man. He said, get out of my way. Absolutely throws PS3 to the ground. We saw this last week against Ole Miss. This is a guy that, maybe doesn't get talked about as much as he should, but Chase Moore is an absolute freak at that left end position and a havoc maker for offensive lines and quarterbacks.
And that's the thing that people don't even talk. Oh, I was picked off right there. Oh, I was picked off.
That was a house call too, man. He was gone. I think he was already thinking touchdown. That's why he didn't grab it.
Yeah, that's probably what happened. And he had 2 people on him too. Making 3rd and long. Gonna hit that check down and
oh no.
Oh
no, doesn't even turn around. That's Falker again. We saw him make a great play earlier in this game, but this time looks like just wasn't on the same page as PS3. Miami is forced to settle for the field goal. They do get it. They do get some points on the board. But if you're Miami, you have to be disappointed with the way that drive ends. And if you're Georgia, you have to be ecstatic. They definitely locked into the bend, don't break philosophy and managed to hold Miami to 3 points after they were moving the ball really well. So I got to give my flowers to Georgia. That was a great defensive stop.
Just like you said, pretty much. I have nothing else to add. Just a great defensive stop. You hold them to 3. You still got a 2-possession lead. And you get the ball back. So let's see him try to score again. And try to add more Ryan Brooks into this drive.
Absolutely. You got to keep the Heisman involved. I mean, there's a reason he won it. He came over here to Georgia to say, hey, I'm going to try to be the difference maker and win us a national championship. And while, yeah, you got weapons out there, you got Elko, you got Bands, you got Carter, the legends, but you got to keep that Heisman involved. And we see the fake on the read option. Takes a little hesitant before running, and KJ's not going anywhere as he gets absolutely stuffed. As Blades Jr. with his 3rd tackle of this game already. Nowhere to move on that, and now they are, moving behind the chains. And you can see Coach Woods is not happy with that play there, as KJ just didn't react, I feel like. You see that at the start of the read option. He's straight walking. He's like, what's going on? And then he just gets smacked.
I think he's more surprised that he had the ball still. The read option can work sometimes, but when it's not working, it's a bad play, man. And that's a great job by Miami's defense for stopping it real quick. Play action with the stuff corner blitz. It's a fumble.
It's a fumble.
And they pick it up. Oh
my goodness.
Oh, that's what happens. That's the Miami's defense I was talking about, man.
Oh my goodness.
Defense.
Treason comes in, forces the fumble, gets
And
up
gets it.
and recovers it.
That's
Absolute
a clean fumble.
monster.
Oh, that's what Miami defense I was talking about, man.
That was insane. I know you guys aren't in here with us, but Carlos and I are just out of our seat, absolutely ecstatic here in the Miami Stadium. That is crazy. That is exactly what they needed, and they have to capitalize here. We see the handoff to D12, but I'll tell you what, and I will say this right now before it happens, if Georgia manages to hold this, I honestly feel like that's a massive momentum play for them if their
I think
defense
it
can
would
get
be
the
too.
stop here.
Yeah, because if he could stop him right there at the goal line, you
As we
almost,
see,
I would say you won this game.
I agree. I think it'll be huge. As we see Kyrie just throw that man down and say, I am going to get the stop here, as we see a massive third down. This really can't be understated for Miami here.
There he
And he
goes.
does run
D12.
in. D12 says, just give me the ball and I will make the plays and get it done. And we do see Miami capitalize in a massive way off of the forced fumble and fumble recovery as D12 gets in the end zone. And man, Carlos, this is what you and I wanted. We got ourselves a game, man. 14-10, PFL, Friday Night Lights. You can't ask for much more.
They just parted the Red Sea right there with Georgia's defense. They look good, but then you can only stand up for so long as D12 just runs in there untouched for the touchdown. And hey, we said this is game of the week, probably game of the year for a reason. That's why they was just down 14-0. Now they're up. Well, now they're just down 14-10 now. They're ready to get back on defense right now after that fumble.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, their defense is probably thinking, yo, we want to be back out there. We want to try to get another turnover. And Georgia's thinking, listen, KJ, shake that off, get the Heisman involved, and get this offense moving. They definitely can. You know, I keep talking about it, but this Georgia offense is absolutely phenomenal at getting things done when they have to get it done. KJ has that clutch gene. Chris Elko can turn it on at any time. White Boy's got the Jets. I mean, Georgia can really get it moving if they need to. So they definitely should not be feeling down on themselves. And, you know, at the end of the day, they got this man in the backfield who can absolutely break it anytime, and they are still winning the game. So, you know, if you're Coach Woods out here, you're just thinking to yourself, let's keep our guys motivated and stay focused on this drive.
Oh, almost picked off right there.
Right as I say that. Very dangerous pass.
They didn't look at his reads at all. It's going to be third down, running out the pocket. Got a QB spot on him, too. And he's watching it. Ooh, Eric Lyle. He knows he don't want to get big. That's bad there right there.
He looked right at him, and KJ said, nah, I'm not getting CTE. My career's just starting. Let me get out of bounds.
Yeah, you can't even blame him either. Eric Lyle's a heavy hitter.
He was ready to lay him out, just like you called it. You know, they had the spy set for him. They do force the 3-and-out, and Miami is getting the ball back. I'm going to say right here on this, I'm putting a lot of pressure here on this Miami offense. Listen, your defense is getting the job done for you right now. You got 4 minutes in this half. Try to get down, get a touchdown, and take the lead. The worst case scenario for Miami is their own 3-and-out, which will give Georgia the chance to extend this lead going into halftime.
Yeah, I think though too. I think this is one of the power drives, and it's gonna be incomplete going to midnight. This is definitely a drive
doing a great job at breaking up those passes. Sorry about that again. I didn't mean to cut you off, but they are doing a great job at breaking up these passes. We see the open man right down the middle in the little gap there. Very nicely done to Brown again. Keeping him involved in the offense has got to be huge for Miami. And like I said, I feel like this drive is absolutely critical for them to at least get 3, but hopefully take the lead going into halftime.
And he's one of the underrated receivers. Not too good on the stat chart right now. But hey, he's making a name for himself right after saying he's got to move up the chart and become one of the top receivers in the PFL. Don't forget, guys, it's the Prime Football League. We're in the week 6. Season 2, guys. This is the game of the week. Got Georgia versus Miami.
It's huge, man. This is exactly what we're talking about. This is Friday Night Lights. This is exciting, man. It's a great dual commentary. I love being up here with you, Carlos. I'm having a great time tonight, and we have a fantastic game. And you know, if you're new to the PFL, you're watching, you say, "Hey, I want to be out there. I want to be the playmaker. I want to be the difference maker." Make sure you're checking out that YouTube subscription. You're joining up into the league. You're subscribing. You're liking this video. You're chatting. And you're following us on social media, man. And next thing you know, Carlos and I will be getting hyped, standing up and clapping for your plays here in the Prime Football League. Thank you, everybody, for joining us in this late Friday game.
You see the run by McKnight in the few yards right there. They're going to try and rush this offense now a little bit.
Yeah, I almost feel like they have to go into the hurry up. Obviously, they do have their timeouts, but we know Miami likes to play fast and don't want to give too much time back to Georgia as we see the quick dump off on the curl route. Again, D12 getting involved in the passing game. They may have moved Sutton to the slot, but that doesn't mean D12 can't catch, as Miami's moving the ball well here. And really, they're going to go into this, this half trying to make a statement, trying to wind down this clock all the way and not let Georgia try to get a score of their own.
Yeah, you just can't let Georgia touch the ball, because if you let them touch the ball, they might just score one play on you. Yeah, it's a great pass right there by PS3.
You're absolutely right. I mean, they have to be careful with this. There's still over a minute to play. If they score right here, they have to be careful because Georgia will be able to respond. Great tackle to not allow him to go anywhere after Tanaka made that grab.
There he goes, first catch of the game right now. Don't forget, that's a great receiver over there on the other side of the field. As PS3 finds his man, McKnight, have himself a day already. 2 touchdowns, one on the ground and one in the air. Hopefully he's looking for a trifecta today, as Miami has taken the lead.
What a turnaround for Miami from 14-0 to, assuming the extra point goes in, 17-14. D12 leading the charge here, going absolutely crazy. I mean, you said it, Carlos, 1 in the ground, 1 in the air. Miami's offense is really getting into their groove, looking like the number 2 team, man. This is absolutely what we expected to see out of them. But Georgia, you're right here in this, and you got a minute and 4 seconds, KJ and Ryan, to try to get down and put some points on the board and at least tie this up going into halftime. What do you think we're going to see out of Georgia here? Do you think they're going to get aggressive and try to get some points, or just go for running down the clock and settle with the score how it is?
Well, I'm pretty sure they kicked it off to start this game, so I think they should try and go for points. You can get if you can get those points, return it at half, and you got to get more points. I think the way they're going to go is try to go aggressive, but at the same time, stay humble.
Yeah, I'm with it, man. I agree. I feel like it's super important that they get points here. As we see the pressure coming, KJ tries to get out of the pocket. Nowhere to go. Looks like he kind of got stopped by his own line there in order to get out of that hole. Ooh. And that's a false start, right? We see the jump.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they do it. It was already
perfect start. But with 25 seconds left, I could see Georgia just settling here and saying, let's take it to halftime. Let's see what they decide to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna backtrack on all that. I'm just go ahead and backtrack on all the things I just said. They can just run this ball, go into half. They're just gonna be stop right there. It'll be a
timeout.
Not sure why.
Yeah, I don't really agree with the timeout here. I don't really think. I don't know what Miami's gonna think will happen. They get the stop here. Call another timeout, only have about 14 seconds. You know, the punt return will take at least 5 or 6 seconds. So they get 1 play, maybe 2. Maybe they know more than we do, Carlos.
Yeah, we're just running back, so we don't really know too much. And so they're just gonna go ahead and punt this one away. Hopefully get like a good return. That's probably what they're expecting. And yeah, they get a decent return, but I think they're going to take a knee. Oh no, they're not. Okay, they're gonna run this clock out.
It does look like they're going to go off for 1 more play. They got a clean pocket, lots of time, lots of space, just heaving it down. And they still have a second. So, you know, we're going to see. We're going to try again. Exactly. Can that O-line give him a clean pocket 1 more time?
Ooh, back foot.
Off the back foot, just heaves it.
He could have just stepped back or run around.
Uh-huh. He said, no thank you, I'm just going to jump straight back. What a half, Carlos. We started off, we saw Georgia going crazy, coming out to a quick 14-0 lead off of a pick six, and Miami clawing their way back into the game, not only to get it close, but to actually take the lead 17-14 going into halftime. To me, honestly, my biggest highlight of this half has to be D12, man. He has come out, said, let me be the difference maker and bring us back into this one. Absolutely massive. What are your biggest takeaways from this first half? And honestly, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Who do you think is gonna be the difference maker, and who's coming out on top in this second half?
Well, so far, like I said, battle of the running backs early in the game. But so far, McKnight's winning this game. But don't you count out Brooks yet. It's only was one half. Let him get his second half in. They implement him too much. And so they think this is the quarter they implemented. And I think that's when he's going to start going off. And this is all on KJ Smith, too, because this game will go down to the wire. And I think they will have the ball last. And if they do, KJ will just got to have the clutch G's that he already has and just clutch up.
I agree. I agree with you. I think if I'm Georgia, not only am I thinking, okay, we got to get the lead back, but the least we need to do is keep the game close in this second half.
That's just what they're going to try and do. Got KJ not on the center this time. Oh, you got to actually take the run, and it's going to be a flag. Probably holding right there.
That's got to be a hold, right?
Yeah, because it was early for a face mask. And so, yes, it will be a holding. Ryan Brooks. Oh, man. Not too used to that one.
No, absolutely not. He is extremely disciplined on his penalties. You know, that's one of the things that is an underrated feature of him as the Heisman winner. He's usually really good about that. As we see the absolute lasered in there, not a lot of space, but turns it into, get all those yards back, and we're looking right back at a 2nd and 10 for Georgia here. Like that first play never happened.
Yes, great job by Wimbo to make that catch. And they're going to move the chains with another catch.
Yeah, Georgia's coming out and doing exactly what we said they had to do if they wanted to get that lead back in this game. We see a little bit of an overthrow, but outside of that, KJ is having himself a great start to the second half, and you saw those stats at the bottom. He was really quiet in that first half, so I expect him to come out and want to make a difference this time around, as he just... I don't know what that was. I got nothing, Carlos. I got nothing for that one.
Yeah, I think he should have took the run right there. It looked a little open. I'm not sure what he's trying to do. Trying to just do too much, honestly. I think he should just stick to his fundamentals, stay in that pocket, and if it collapses, you can run out of it. You don't have to force the run. If the pass is open, go ahead and throw it. I don't think you have to stress too much right now. And I think that's what's getting him. The crowd's just super loud right now. And they will get that first.
I think Georgia's just getting a little nervous, but we see that great play design there, do something a little bit comfortable. He knows, hey, we see what that defense is lining up, and we know they're going to be a man-to-man here. So we know that inside route's going to be open. Keep the chains moving. Georgia's got to be happy with that, especially after those last couple of plays were kind of off pace there for them. But they're coming out, they're keeping the ball moving, and they're looking like the Georgia we saw on the first drive of this game, where they were really able to do whatever they wanted.
Yeah, I think they're going to just go and read option here. Try to bounce it outside, but it's going to get stopped. It looked like a gain of nothing. They actually lost or something.
And they are moving behind the sticks here, which, is not what Georgia's looking to do. But they typically, from what we've seen on this drive, when they do get behind the sticks, they tend to bounce back and have themselves a big play. Carlos, I just want to let you know real quick, I will have to be right back. Just something I have to take care of here on the technical side of the booth. So if you don't mind one man in this for me for just a little bit, I will return shortly.
All right, it's good, man. Those do your thing. I got you over here. As you got KJ taking the snap. Finds the man complete. He gets the first down. It's just like John Smith said, they can work well behind the sticks. Carter with another catch. KJ with the handoff, but he's going to get stuck. Ryan Brooks only 2.7 a pop right now. It's just Miami's defense line just looking great against Ryan Brooks. He tries to pass it complete. Great pass right there. All going to get picked off. Chris Elko making a name for himself now. 2 catches now. First catch of the second half. Looks like it's probably gonna be a run here. The Will is gonna bounce it outside. He gets the first. He's gonna move the chains again. Just don't forget Ryan Brooks. He's a Heisman winner. We're gonna keep talking about it probably all night now. Heisman winner. If you forget about him, you've lost this game, guys. As you see, a little bit of forgetting. It's they got a legitimate running back there. See it the third time, I think. We'll see KJ Smith under center. Oh, what a pancake! You see that line just got trampled. Not gonna get too much off of that. Hopefully, you'll see a replay. I don't want to see a replay of that. That line just didn't look good at all. There's no, we won't see the linebackers come in, fill in the gaps. KJ's gonna go back under center. Play action. Ryan Brooks goes out for a pass. Goes to Ryan Brooks, complete. Oh! Oh, that was dangerous right there. You saw number 7 just zoom down that screen right there.
I am back, Carlos. Thank you so much for holding it down, and what a play to come back to as we see Georgia get the first down, and they were just waiting. Like you said, 7 was just hunting on that play. And we see him, it looks like from what I missed, they've just continued to move the ball pretty well. They're getting really close here, and getting a touchdown has to be the only thing on their mind.
And it's going to, oh, it's close. Oh, he's going to be out of bounds. That's a close one, Wimbo. I think that was Wimbo right there, yeah?
Yeah, that was Wimbo. I really felt like he might have snuck that in there, man. You only need one toe, but it looks like they're not even going to try to challenge it. This is a massive 3rd and 2. I think you hand it off to Ryan Brooks here. But we do see the pass pressure coming.
Oh, man. I think you could go for it right now. I think you should have went for it right here, Georgia.
Yeah, I think so too. They're going to settle for trying to get the tie. We know nothing in the PFL is a gimme, but that's about as close as it can get. As they see Georgia does tie it up here, 17-17. I'll tell you what, Carlos, they really did. You know, again, I got to give you your credit. They did exactly what you said they needed to do to come out here to start this second half. And you see, look at all that time they ate up on the clock, man. These offenses are learning that their opponents have some elite offensive ability. You cannot let them have the ball too much or they're going to score. You know, they get enough chances. These two teams are definitely going to keep putting points on the board.
Yes, just got to implement Ryan Brooks into his playbook. If you implement him, you're going to win games like that. Because, like I said, Heisman winner, and he's just a dog, man.
He really is, man. I mean, that's exactly what they need to do. If they're going to be airing it out more, they got to be using him, you know, because he's going to be opening up those big gaps for them to air that ball out. As we see Miami PS3 deliver a dot, turn it into 2nd and short. This looks like a run to me.
It will be. And actually going to trip up on that one. He's going to lose yards.
Looks like he tripped up on his own right guard there, his 64, as he was trying to cut to the outside, but just wasn't able to quite break off that block and get out there. And now we've got a 3rd and 3. Again, I still feel like for Miami, the playbook is open here, but if you're Georgia, your defense has stepped up on these 3rd downs, and you're going to be looking for a really quick 3 and out to set the tempo here in the second half.
As they're going to try to do what they did on the first drive, actually, going 3 and out, and it's going to be a flag, but a great catch right there by guess who? Jabari Brown. It's going to be rubbing the passes that add on those yards.
Goodness, that is ideal. As we see LJ Gray hit with the penalty for Miami. Jabari Brown with an absolute amazing catch and an additional 15 yards. As we see D12, massive hole here. Almost breaks that last man. That was so close. As that was Redden with the tackle.
A little slow right there. They're going to adjust his speed rating and bat it down after that one right there.
Juan with the absolute touchdown saving tackle, man. You got to give him props on that because that boy, D12 said, get me into the end zone, get me that 2nd rushing touchdown. Juan just saved Georgia from going down by 7 there.
Yeah, yes he did. They're going to go back to him, going outside. He's going to have a lead. He's going to get the first and more. Oh, he's going to make it around the 5, make it 1st and goal now. And Miami's moving again.
D12 is doing whatever he wants out there, Carlos. This is absolutely insane. I know you love it just like I do, like we talked about. We're both running backs. You love to see this, man. We got to give D12 his props. He is single-handedly bringing this Miami offense into this game. He's saying, I'm him, and I'm going to prove it on every chance I get. What a performance out of him tonight.
And don't like to brag about this, but it looks like just a college season 1 Texas offense right now, with me just leading the charge and just having Archie Manning just doing his own thing with his receivers. And that's what it looks like right now. Miami's really using it real well right now with the better weapons he has.
Absolutely. You see D12 fighting his way into the end zone for his 2nd rushing touchdown. Spins over the defender to cross the plane. We talked about this so much. Miami's players fighting for yards. You know, that is what they do. I can't even be upset at Georgia's defense, Carlos. They're getting to their guys. They are. But they are just fighting for those extra little bit of yardage, proving how badly they want to win this game. And that was not a small man. You saw that's Chase Moore that he just, rolled himself over to get that touchdown. What a drive out of Miami.
And Miami's offense just looks like they want it more right now. Just Georgia's defense just looking too exhausted against McKnight. And that's what's going to happen probably this 4th quarter coming up if they don't take the lead or at least tie this game.
Agree completely. As the game goes on, anyone who watches football, has played football, it becomes the running backs game. It becomes about clock control, especially in that 4th quarter for these young guys, man. Not all these guys are running out there with 99 stamina. They're going to be tired. They just are naturally. And that'll be the time for D12 to go even more crazy. So if I'm Georgia, I'm thinking we have to score. We've done a great job of getting points on our last drive, but this is a drive where we really need the touchdown. We need KJ, and we need the Heisman winner Ryan Brooks to feast on this drive here.
As they're actually going to put him into motion and make it an empty set for KJ. And this quick pass complete and gets it near the 1st down mark.
And that's Kyson. Kyson's been an absolute staple for this Georgia offense all year, continuing to make plays, continuing to help them move the ball as we see the 2nd and short. See the handoff, and that's what he can do, man. We're talking about these running backs. We know that Ryan, with more touches, can be more active for Georgia and help them get points on the board.
And he's going to go give it back to him again. Wide open gap right there. Number 7 made the saving tackle right there.
That was a huge defensive stop because, just like you said, there was a massive hole for Ryan to run through. As we see the fake jet into the handoff. Number 7 again getting back there, man. As his 2nd TFL, dude is having himself a great defensive performance. That looks really good on the play design front. After the fake jet, I thought Ryan was going to be able to get to the right and get outside. And Miami said, my favorite boy, Dikembe Mutombo, said, no, not today. As he comes in and Blades gets that tackle. Back-to-back big plays out of number 7.
And if y'all don't know this man, now you know him. Blades Jr. is not to be messed with against this stifling offense right now.
Absolutely. He finds the man. That's exactly what Georgia needs on these, these long curl routes. They've been there, man. It's very tough for that secondary to cover when you get up there. I mean, Duffy's been an absolute beast for Miami, but as well as I do, when those receivers, man, they're so quick. They run out and then suddenly are turning on you. It's really hard to make a play on the ball. Well-designed play from Georgia. And honestly, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Carlos, but I don't think we've seen too many of those, 12, 15-yard curls out of their offense tonight.
No, not too much. That's the first one I think we've seen today. Let's go ahead, guys, in the chat. Throw those scores up. And we're in the 4th quarter with Georgia having the ball down 7. Here we go. I think this
Absolutely perfect end to this Friday Night Lights game. You could not ask for anything better out of our, game of the week call. One possession game, exactly what we're looking for out here in the PFL, man. I am so excited to be bringing this all to you with my boy Carlos Thompson in the booth with me, man. It's been a great time as we see huge pressure out of Miami, looking like Georgia has no offensive line. Massive stack causing the 3rd and 14. And this, man, this could be the play of the game. We could be looking back at this and saying this sack is what set Miami up. We're going to have to see something magical out of Georgia on this 3rd and very, very long.
And he tried to go with the screen pass, but just not there. And that's pretty much been the difference maker right now. The Miami's D-line just been causing pressure all game long. And gonna go for the pass. What a route! Oh my goodness, had him lost. Give him a map. I think he's gonna get the stop though. Save his highlight reel and make it 4th down.
Yes, sir. A.J. Barnes with an absolute feast of a route, looking like Devontae Barnes out there. White boy going crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But just wasn't quite enough to get the first. And Miami with a massive stop there. You know, like we said, it would have had to have been something really magical out of them. And I think this is the right call. I think you got to try to go for it here and try to keep this drive alive.
Yep, on the opponent's side of the field. Why not? It's going to be complete to Wimbo. Bands with another catch to make it a 1st down.
Wimbo has been absolutely clutch for Georgia tonight, man. He has been there on all the plays KJ has needed him. And when you got a tight end like that, that is an absolutely massive weapon on those huge, huge 4th down conversions. As we see another laser out of here. KJ is turning it on right now, delivering absolute dots, saying, I am going to bring us back into this game. As we see the rollout left, goes for the end zone, had him, but I don't think the ball got there in time. Needed a little bit more zip on that pass. Great deflection, and Miami's defense is trying to go bend, don't break.
As that's going to be the motto for this quarter right now for both teams. Bend, don't break, as he finds him incomplete. And a good tackle right there to make it 3rd and manageable for Georgia.
Exactly right. As we see 3rd and 3, this is an absolutely massive play. We know this is 4 down territory. He's looking to the end zone. I don't know, KJ. I don't know where you were looking. Maybe he saw somebody fine in the stands, but I feel like he could have tried to force that ball in a bit better. We see a massive 4th down. They're going to the Heisman.
Oh,
he gets
Eric Lyle. There he is.
Eric Lyle.
There he is.
Oh my goodness, Carlos. That might just be the defensive play of the game. Oh my goodness.
Oh, what a tackle. That's an iron wall right there. Stop the Heisman pretty much at the 1st down mark.
Absolutely. That was a monster defensive stop, and stopping Ryan like that is one of the hardest feats you can do in the PFL. What a move from Miami as they just try to create some space here. Obviously, they don't want a quick 3 and out. There's still a ton of time left on the clock. This is a big conversion, man. Every single down matters at this stage in the game. This is what it's all about. I am so excited, man. I can't wait to see how this game ends.
And I think for Miami, this might be what I call a power drive. If they score here, I think that might shut the door on this Georgia's defense, and they're just running this clock down. But if they don't score, I think Georgia will be able to come back right here and just score, honestly. I think they're looking real aggressive. They're looking real nice. Just happen to have Eric Lyle over there on the other side.
Yep. I agree, man. I think this is a huge drive. Miami's going to try to put the nail in the coffin here and get some points, turn it into a 2-possession game here in this 4th quarter. Continue to run that clock down. Absolutely massive run from D12, who, you know, we've been saying that all night. He's having himself an amazing game. But if you're Miami, that's got to be the focus. We see the raw, huge pressure. Absolutely throws that man into the dirt. Whoa, again with these corner blitzes, man. These have been feasting on these offenses. They are just not prepared. The play action, the QB has no time on that weak side. Absolutely crunched, man. That was crazy. That is exactly what Georgia needed.
And that's how you start a game right there. If you be able to do that, cause some pressure, make them force, get bad passes, make them throw picks. That's what you want to do to win this game right now.
Absolutely. They need more and more plays like that if they're going to go ahead and tie this game back up. Great pocket protection that time, but nowhere really to fit that ball in. An absolutely excellent defense there from Georgia. Once again, this defense is out here making a statement saying we are going to give KJ his shot to put us back into this game. Pressure coming. Is that going to be a safety? He breaks the tackle. Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness!
Oh
We
my
see
goodness.
the safety! Carlos! Who else but that man? Who else but these guys? LJ Gray and Chase Moore and Davian Bryant. That defensive line from Georgia. Absolute monsters. Who else, Carlos? They said, call my number, and we're going to make the play. I got to give PS3 some credit. He broke 2 huge tackles, but you cannot ask that man to break 3 in a row. And what a momentum shift, man. I feel like you can hear a pin drop right now in this stadium as Georgia gets ready to try and lead the go-ahead drive now instead of the tying drive. Man, I am hyped right now. How are you feeling?
That was insane. He broke 2 sacks, but he couldn't break a third one. You gotta give PS3 his props. But now that power drive was not good, and here comes Georgia with all the momentum on their side, causing pressure, rolling out to his left, got a wide open lane. He gets it to the 40. There goes KJ Smith, man, already 50 yards in this game rushing.
KJ is going absolutely crazy. He says, you're going to go that far back and play that soft, then I'm going to go ahead and break for a massive run on you. Every single time you do that, if they do not set the spy, then you know he's going to be looking to scramble. And just like that, they're in Miami territory. It's on the 38-yard line, man. This is going to be absolutely crucial for Georgia. We see the quick pass, lots of open space, as I believe that is Barnes once again. Yes, it is. And Georgia's got under 5 minutes to go. Just has to go 35 yards to get into the end zone. We see the play fake here, lots of time. And A.J. Barnes again. KJ is loving this connection to A.J. Barnes tonight. And he's going to keep feeding that man as long as he's going to keep running these elite routes.
And yeah, just there's the momentum shift. The power drive is kicking in. As KJ Smith has that clutch genes running through his veins right now. Just pinpoint accuracy and making smart moves by running the ball when it's needed.
Absolutely. His decision making on this drive has been perfect. I mean, he's not forcing anything too crazy. He's being smart with everything. And now they're giving it to the Heisman winner, saying, get us into the end zone. You see him fighting for those yards, which just makes it even more impressive last time Miami got the stop, because Ryan is an absolute wrecking ball in that backfield.
Georgia just got a prayer answer just now.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
That would have been the game right there.
That would have been. He threw it right to him too.
Right,
and we see the hold call. 2nd and 12. Georgia's going back a little bit. I don't really know what that was. KJ sometimes whips these things out of his, his pocket that just doesn't really add up as he does the jump forward pass, looking like Patrick Mahomes, but to the out of bounds.
This is
spinning off. There's a little bit of Elko. Was that his first catch of the night? Have we called Elko's number once? That was crazy. As he spins off his man and tries to fight for the first, but doesn't quite get there. We've got a 4th and 1. I am getting goosebumps, Carlos. This is the play right here, folks. PFL Friday Night Lights. Empty backfield. Here we go. Can KJ deliver? As he takes the snap, he's looking. Does he have it? Goodness! Oh, hit him with it! What catch to take the lead! Carlos, what are we seeing? Oh my goodness!
1, 2, 3, get off of me! Oh my goodness, A.J. Barnes! You are him!
That man! What a catch! Obviously, we're going to see the go for 2 here because the difference between a 1-point lead and a 2-point lead is nothing. Can they get the 2-point conversion? He's looking. Pressure's coming. Pressure's still coming, trying to get out.
Oh my goodness! Elko That is the clutchest grab you'll have all year, my friend. That is the clutchest catch you'll have all year.
What is KJ doing back there, Carlos? Who is this man? He is
This is no
fighting
longer
to say,
KJ.
I'm the #1 QB in the league. He is fighting, man. What a performance we are seeing out of KJ. Oh my goodness, what a drive, man. This is some of the most excited, and I've called some great games. I know you have as well. This is some of the most excited I think we've ever been, man. Thanks so much for joining me in this booth tonight. This is PFL, baby. This is what it is all about. I can't wait to see how Miami comes out with 2:45 left on the clock.
It's a lot of time for PS3. Finds a man wide open. That's not Jabari Brown this time. That'll move those chains. Hey, that drive started with that safety, and they just used the field advantage, and you saw Georgia roll like a wheel.
Absolutely, man. They did exactly what they needed to do. That safety was absolutely critical. And now, you know, like you said, PS3's got a lot of time, 2 minutes, 20 seconds. That's plenty of time to get into field goal range. They're only about 40 yards off of field goal range. Pressure coming.
Ooh, that
was close.
That's risky right there.
That's close. Especially with, you know, again, we've praised them all night, but this Georgia D-line, those boys, you know, Chase Moore, Davion Bryant, LJ Gray, those are some freaks, man. When they're running at you at full speed, you know it's getting into PS3's head a little bit, man. There's no way he's not thinking this is going to hurt.
Yeah, he's looking a little paranoid right now, going into the fourth quarter, finds a man complete, gets it up the field, gonna move those chains. This is his 5th catch already.
He has been everywhere tonight, Ridley.
Yeah.
He has been absolutely everywhere for them. And those over-the-middle passes have been there tonight for Miami. You know, we look back at these last few, obviously all 4 quarters, and those over-the-middle passes have been there for them whenever they've needed them. So, you know, that's kind of reliable for PS3 right now. But I know time's short, but I kind of want to see a little bit of more involvement out of D12 on this drive. I'm not going to lie to you, even with the short time.
I think we might go to overtime. I think we might see some more. I really do. I really want to see this game. And there he goes, another sack. This Georgia defense has been going off in this quarter.
My goodness, that was LJ Gray. Absolutely massive sack. And it looks like PS3 is getting a little razzled. We see those stats down there, but he's feeling a little razzled as we have this 3rd and a mile. Let's see what Miami cooks up here. Great pocket. Great pocket. Pressure finally getting. Still, there he is again.
That might have been it right there.
There he is. LJ Gray with back-to-back massive sacks, and we see 4th and 27. What on earth? And just a little dump off there. No, what was that play call? Carlos. Oh,
that's not the
no.
Play. That's not the play, coach. Can't lie. That's not the play.
Oh, no. What a defensive performance from Georgia. Back-to-back sacks for LJ Gray. My goodness. And, you know, when I saw him throw on 24 at defensive tackle, I thought, man, what are you doing? That's Charles Woodson's number. This is some crazy talk. And that boy said, nah, I'm good, and goes out and gets 2 sacks on the most important drive of the game. Absolutely phenomenal. That Georgia defense, like you said, they got a safety, bro. They got a safety to cause that drive to get the lead. Otherwise, this game might be tied right now. You know what I mean? Like, we might be talking all kinds of different as we see Ryan fumbling, stumbling his way forward to keep the chains moving and basically just guarantee that this game is over as we see the victory formation. And since we have a minute, Carlos, I mean, what do you think, man? This Georgia team is the truth. I mean, obviously, I think this puts them into the #2 slot. In my head, I still think Bama's #1. You know, they did win just the other night, so I think they've locked into their #1 spot. But I think this puts Georgia at 2. And here's my question for you, Carlos, because you just called the USC game. Do you think Utah is usurping Miami and going to take the 3 slot, or do you think Miami will still be the #3 team in the nation?
Utah didn't really go against a competitive team like Miami did just now, going against #2 Georgia. So I think Miami must stay right move down to 3, and I think Utah will be at the 4 still.
Yep. That's fair. I'm with you, man. I agree. I mean, obviously, I'm on USC, but I know where we are this season, so I agree with you. It's not the same as Miami going up against Georgia. But, man, what a game we just watched. I had an absolutely amazing time. Massive shout out to our producer, Zeke, who's always killing it for us. And, again, if you're new here, you're new to the PFL, check out that description. Make sure you're joining up in the league. Hit us up on Instagram. Hit us up. Let us know what your thoughts are. Make sure you're liking our videos, subscribing. And like I said, who knows, maybe next time Carlos and I will be screaming your name instead of AJ Barnes out here. I mean, AJ Barnes, my bad. In the next game. So again, Carlos, thanks so much for joining me. I had a wonderful time. Thank you everyone for tuning in. And make sure you're checking out the games tomorrow. As I will be back in the booth tomorrow night. And it's going to be more great PFL action to end our week. And I can't wait to see everybody out there. As tomorrow we have, of course, first Cincinnati versus FSU. And then it's you, man. I can't wait to see what you do as Texas plays Notre Dame. I can't wait to see how this weekend ends. So with that, I am all wrapped up. Carlos, I'll let you have the last word, and then we'll say goodbye to everybody.
All right, I appreciate you for having me, of course, John. That was a great game we just had. I hope we can be able to do more. As you see, KJ Smith, just that fourth quarter, man, that whole Georgia team just looked completely different right there. They all had that clutch gene from the D line to KJ Smith. Throwing the clutch pass, and they're just looking like a great team. I would love to see Game of the Year AJ Barnes just go against the tough defensive backs for Bama. Just want to see it once again, man, because that's a great game. Hopefully we can see it in the playoffs. Hopefully not, because I'm still a player in Texas. I don't want to see that.
Man, no one wants to see these teams. I can tell you that right now. Bama and Georgia have a grip, and no one is trying to face them. They are looking like monsters.
Yeah, they're just looking like dogs right now. They're just it's in their name, the Bulldogs. They're just looking like dogs right now, and just looking like a new gen team. This is a team full of freshmen and one sophomore right now, and it just doesn't even look like it right now.
Oh, agreed. Yeah, man, I think with that, Carlos, I think that's going to wrap us up. Obviously, Zeke's got to get a little bit more stats, but that's going to do it for us here in the booth. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. It was an absolutely wonderful time. Good night, PFL. We will see you all tomorrow.
Peace, guys. Hope you have a good one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys.